The guitar is an accumulation of small baby steps every single day for a very long period of time. Those baby steps every single day accumulate into a large mass of getting really, really good and professional sounding on the instrument. So, have you ever gone on, I don't know, YouTube or maybe just anywhere? You've talked to maybe people in person who are really good at guitar, and you're talking to them, and you're like, okay, how long are you practicing for? And you'll hear them, they'll say, like, I'll be honest, I practice like 4 hours a day, or 6 or 8 or even 12, 16 hours a day. They're practicing pretty much the whole day, and you're like, how the hell does this person do it? Like, how do you dedicate so much time to the instrument? And they're like, you gotta love it. You gotta love it so much. It's gotta be a part of you. And listen, there is a lot of truth to loving the instrument because that's what's gonna keep you playing it, okay? But hear me out on something that I really wish I knew growing up playing guitar. Because here's the thing. If you're in high school, middle school, elementary school, I doubt that I hope that if you're in elementary school, you're not just browsing through YouTube. That'd be crazy. Then again, it is 2026. I just didn't really grow up with YouTube until at least I was a little bit older. But anyways, if you have all that time, yeah, you can practice for hours and hours and hours a day. And it's like, it's crazy. That's what I was doing in high school. However, I'm speaking to the vast majority of people listening to this as guitar players. You do not have the time or the commitment to practice for that many hours a day. However, there is a solution that I have been giving my students for a long time now, and I've been incorporating myself into the guitar and also many other aspects of my life that has literally changed my life. Okay, so I'm going to share that with you. When I said that you don't have the time or the commitment aspects to practice that many hours in a day, you can build up to that. And I'm going to talk about how you can actually get there, but it takes a lot of preparation beforehand so that way you don't get burnt out. This is pretty much what I mean, okay? So, you know how we get these like different random moments in life of motivation where you're like, oh man, I really want to become someone who goes to the gym on a regular basis, or I want to be someone who ends up, running on a regular basis, or something like that, or you're eating healthy. I don't know, like I'm using all these like gym terms, but you can do this in any sort of aspect. I want to be someone who reads every day, or something like that, right? We tend to commit when we're motivated, but then we tend to give up really, really easily when that motivation kind of dies, okay? Now, there is some helpfulness and importance to keeping that motivation alive, right? But when you have that motivation, usually you do more than you actually should at the moment, and then you get burnt out. So somebody who's trying to read every day might try to read, half the book in like a day, right? Or the whole book in a day. And going from someone who doesn't read at all into somebody who's doing that, like a book a day or a book a week or whatever, it's not going to be easy. The same thing applies to the guitar, okay? So if you're somebody who's been struggling to practice every single day for an hour or a half hour or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I found this 2-hour practice routine, this person did it and it worked really well for them, so I'm going to do it and I'm going to commit to it. You're going to get burnt out. 100% you're going to get burnt out. So here's the solution. Guitar, it's an accumulation of small baby steps every single day. Okay? So what does that mean? That basically means that you need to commit to picking up the instrument every single day for literally 5 minutes, 10 minutes, max 15 minutes. You are probably thinking, oh my gosh, Aiden, that is such a small amount of time. I'm not going to get anything done. You don't have the luxury of judging right now, first of all. Like, you need to commit to doing that every single day, because that's going to show how committed you really are onto the instrument, right? Because guitar, it's not something that you're going to get overnight anyway, right? But we're all about developing habits, good habits, right? And getting rid of our bad habits. That's kind of what dictates your life, is good habits, and then you have your bad habits, right? We all have a mix of the two. So when it comes to the guitar and getting really, really good at the guitar, we want you to develop the habit of picking it up every single day, Okay? Every single day. If you do that every single day for 30 days, you're going to really notice something. You're going to notice after a while, you won't even think about it, right? And then after 30 days, you might hit 60 days. And then you're really starting to get things going. You'll notice you're going to start getting a lot better. So it's all about little bits of work every single day. Do not miss a day. I don't even care if you play for 2 minutes. Like, don't do that. Don't do 2 minutes every single day. Like, I'm not giving you excuses, but I'm just saying, like, let's say you got to run and you're doing all this work and stuff, and you just like, I don't have a lot of time. Do a 5-minute session. Just work on your technique for a few minutes, and then move on to whatever else you got to do for the day, and then do a 15-minute session tomorrow. Okay, but it's all about picking it up every single day. Every single day. Okay? We're developing the habit that an actual guitarist would do. Not somebody who plays guitar, but an actual guitarist. You see where I'm going with this? Okay? You need to basically re-identify yourself. Because this is the thing, is you watching this video, you're probably stuck in the same spot that you've been for who knows how long. Months, years. I've talked to so many guitar players, and you wouldn't believe the plateaus that people get stuck on, and they never do it. And they end up in that situation because of the habits and the system that they developed in the past. Now, you need a system, right? You need to know what to practice, right? You need to know the right things to do. You should have a teacher or have some feedback and things like that. If you want to work with me, I would be happy to work with you. You can just click the link in the description. There's a free guitar session that we can do together, and I'll show you what I do for people, okay? So you need a system and you need a teacher that can really, really help you with all this crazy stuff, okay? So going forward with that, once you have your system and once you have your habits, it's really hard to not succeed, okay? So many guitar players are trying to get really, really good at the guitar, but they're not getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere, right? It's because of your habits. You have programmed yourself over years of neglecting the guitar to where now it's not that it's not a priority, but it's just something that you only do when it's convenient for you, right? And we got to break that habit, okay? So not only do you not have a good habit of picking it up every day, but you've also have a bad habit of just randomly picking it up, right? Just to give you like a couple of examples of this, okay? In 2025, I was running a lot. I ran probably, maybe in the summer, maybe like 3 or 4 half marathons. And these are not, I never went an official race or anything, but I just did it on my own, honestly, outside. But I did that, and I was running almost every morning, right? Because I wanted to be a runner. Not just some guy who runs. I wanted to be a runner. I wanted to have that cardio. You know, it makes me feel good. It's fun. I really, really like it, right? And what I noticed was some of those days of running, man, I didn't want to go out of there. I didn't want to go out and run in the cold or the rain or the blazing heat and stuff like that. But I still did. Even if it was for like a mile, I would still do it. Even if I was going like 15-minute a mile pace and I was like going, you know, turtle pace. It's like, who cares? I'm still out there and I'm still doing it. Okay? And that's the habit that you need. That is 110% the habit that you need, right? You know, there's other things too, like with, you know, what I do to help my students. It's like there's a lot of work in the back end of, you know, my guitar teaching business that I have to do. Like, for example, a lot of the people that contact me don't ever end up writing me back. So I end up having to call a massive list of people and seeing what's up, seeing if I can actually help them with anything. Do I like doing it? Not really, but I like helping people on the guitar, and I know that I have to do it, and I do it every single day, or most days out of the week anyway. So that's what you need. A little bit every day is what's going to really make you successful here. You got to develop the habit of doing it every day before you start doing those big sessions. Now, I mentioned what happens when you hit like 30, 60, 90 days of doing it for 15 minutes a day. What happens? What do we do then? Well, Maybe now it's time to up it a little bit. Maybe instead of 15, you do 25 or 30. You know, maybe every month you just add an extra 5 minutes until you find the sweet spot. But you got to find the sweet spot. That's the thing. So if you start doing too much, you got to dial it back a little bit into something that fits. Because listen, guitar players are some of the laziest good people that have no accountability. I'm just calling out like this, and this is not just coming from me. This is coming from me talking to other guitar players. All we do is we complain about guitar players. All guitar players do, they stick to the same things. They don't like to learn anything new. They have no accountability. They don't practice. They don't show up on time. It's like the stereotype of all the guitar player things that you've heard. A lot of them are true, unfortunately. And you know, myself and other guitar players, we do try to break that a lot, that stereotype. But the vast majority of guitar players do not have any accountability, and they don't have any drive to actually like make a change like you are right now watching this video. But if you can keep building up this from like 15 to 20 to 30 to 45 minutes, you're going to see a dramatic change in your playing. This is what everybody's missing, man. I'm telling you. Every time I talk to a guitar player, they're telling me that they're practicing for an hour a day and they're not seeing results. I don't believe it for a second, man. I don't believe it for a second. Guitar players lie all the time about how often they're practicing, how long they're practicing. You know, if you want to know how long I practice, it varies. It 100% varies. If it's really gig heavy, I'm practicing a lot, right? I'm practicing pretty much all day. If it's more, I'm at home and I'm working on teaching heavy, it's a lot, but it's a lot more teaching. And teaching is practicing, but it's not like personal practicing, if that makes sense. So it really, for me, it depends. It could be anywhere from, on the low end, an hour on like a really bad day, but it can also go up to like literally practicing for the whole day pretty much. So take that for what you will. If you want to work with me, book a free call. I can show you my curriculum. It's a really easy format to follow, and it has live Zoom sessions that we can work together. So that way we're not just, you know, leaving you in the dark with everything. But with that being said, I'll see you guys next video.